Are you curious about what yoga looks like off the mat, or keen to hear how yogis all around the world live? This show will let you in on the secret that there's no such thing as a perfect yogi. Welcome to the Plant-Powered Yoga Podcast. Please welcome your host, yoga teacher, coffee lover, vegan, and known as the Plant-Powered Yogi, Jess Ivers. Hey there everyone, Jess here. Welcome to another episode of the Plant-Powered Yoga Podcast. Thank you for joining in for another week. I'm, just before I start today's episode, going to apologize if you can hear any background noise. That might be some dogs or even cats or even some birds. I'm recording from a little bit of a different space than normally what I do, looking after some pets. And the lovely birds of the south coast of New South Wales are chirping away. It's a little after 5 o'clock here, so I'm sure they're all getting excited for the sun to go down. And I'm also looking after a staffy dog who, if anyone listening who has a staffy might know that they're a little bit needy, for lack of a better word, just needs a bit of my attention. So he's my podcast guest today, even though technically speaking I don't have a guest. But apart from animals and pets and all those things that I normally would love to talk about, today's episode is all about ethical yoga gear. And if you're like me and you want to try and wear clothes that reflect your values, or even just the things that you put on your body reflect your values, shopping for yoga gear can be a bit of a challenging part of that. There's a lot of activewear out there now and a lot of cheap made activewear that's super comfy and super affordable, but I guess tossing up what goes against values. And also, if you're like me and might be someone that's not a size 8 to 10, and absolutely no disrespect to anyone who might be fitting into that smaller size mold of a human body, but I found that over the years a lot of ethical brands tend to speak about how great they are for the environment, but then also don't make clothes that are adequate for people in bigger bodies. So for those who don't know, I'm about 6 foot tall. I'm about a size 14 to 16. Getting yoga pants that are going to sit nicely on me, not roll down, not be stretchy in the wrong places as well. I've also brought that into this podcast today because I wanted to talk a little bit more about those brands that I think are catering for a wider market, not just a very small niche of the yoga community. And so I'm going to run through 5 of my favorite brands, and these are all brands that I've bought things from before and am a customer of. This isn't a paid episode or a paid podcast. It's just a way for me to share the things that I love and enjoy and share those with the world. So nothing in this podcast today is sponsored or has been paid for. This is all just purely me speaking from my own experience of things that I've bought. First one on the list, even though this list is in no particular order, is a brand called Indigo Luna. Now, I came across Indigo Luna maybe 2 or 3 years ago now at the World Vegan Day market in Melbourne. And I got super excited because if anyone's been to vegan market before, most of the time it's food and, you're stuffing your face with all of these amazing treats, and the last thing you want to think about is fitting into a pair of yoga pants. But luckily I saw this little stall before I found the foods. That was good, and was like, yeah, yoga gear, awesome. Went and had a little look, and their stuff is beautiful. What I really liked about it as well was I tried on a pair of their pants and they fit me, because I guess I did that little bit of I'm always a little bit skeptical when I come across a new yoga brand. I'm like, oh, is it going to fit me properly? These are beautiful designs, but are they made for people with long legs or bigger hips? And I tried a pair on and they fit so well, and they're super comfy and beautiful designs as well. Everything's got really unique patterns. I like that a lot of their range actually is quite simple as well. So it's certain colors and textures and tones that they use. So it's not an overwhelming range to look at, which is also really cool. And they also make swimwear and a couple of other basic items like some underwear. They also have scrunchies. I have some of their scrunchies, which are great for tying your hair back when you're in a yoga class. But one of the other really cool things about their products is that a lot of them are actually made from upcycled products. So they make things from recycled fishing nets and recycled water bottles, things that have been fished out of the ocean that shouldn't be there. They're actually using those and upcycling them into other products, which is really, really cool. If you're wanting to support a brand that is local, they're based down in Geelong, down in Melbourne. If you want to support a brand that is taking what would have been a discarded product and is now getting turned into something wearable, Indigo Luna is your place to go. Coming up next on the list is a brand called Active Truth. And if you follow my Instagram, you will see that just about every second photo I have on there of me is wearing these pants, and I love them so much. Again, super excited that they make clothes for bigger bodies, and I mean, they have an amazing range as well. Their whole range goes from small, I think, up to 3 or 4XL. Have a really cool website where you can look at things via size. They have a super diverse website as well. All of the models on there are of all shapes and sizes, different colors and different bodies, and I think that's a really important part of when shopping for. That's a good thing to know when you're buying yoga gear, that the people you're buying from also believe in what you believe as well. It's something that gives me a bit of satisfaction to see a website promoting diversity and ethical initiatives. And these two lovely women, Stevie and Nadia, started this, and they're based up in Queensland, and they focus on creating long-lasting activewear. So in terms of ethically speaking, it can be so easy now to feel like there's things in season, or that we need to change our gear every couple of months, or you might need to because the $10 pants that I might have bought have started wearing out on the bum, and that's no good to anyone, is it? These products are made to last, and I've had my pair, the very first pair I bought, I think was in February in 2018. I still wear them all the time, and they are just as good as the day that I put them on. Like, they haven't sagged at all. They haven't gotten funny around the middle. They have an amazing support system, I guess is the only way I can describe it, around my hips and my tummy, and that is still exactly the same as the day I bought it almost 2.5 years later. They also use compostable packaging whenever they send anything. They don't have any swing tags or any unnecessary bits of paper that come with their products, so it's, when you get it, you know, as cool as it is to like unpackage something and have all the bits and pieces, I like that they just send you what you've ordered, and it's, again, simplicity, and that's what focus they go for with their products, is simplicity and non-seasonal. And they stated on their website that they are working to look into recycled fabrics and using those in their products later this year, later in 2020, which is really exciting. But any excess material that they might end up with their products at the moment, they actually donate to a local refugee charity who then use those in sewing classes. So again, anything that's not used is then getting upcycled or used into something else. Coming in next is Booty. And again, it's a brand I've been buying for probably about 3 or 4 years now. Came across them when I was doing a bit of travel. I was going away for about 2 months and needed some basics to take with me that I knew I could wear for a little while, weren't going to be all gross and yucky. If I needed to wash them in the sink, they dry quickly. So Booty Eco-Wear is actually all made of bamboo. And if you've worn anything bamboo before, it's so, so comfy. It's so soft, and they make some of the comfiest stuff that's so great. So yeah, if you're traveling, which I know right now no one at the moment is, but when we can all get back to that time, this is like plain ready stuff to wear. So obviously, using bamboo, they only use natural fibers. They have a range of tank tops, t-shirts, leggings, long sleeve shirts, socks, bras, undies, literally everything. Like, they literally have you covered from top to toe. You could walk out of the house wearing all Booty one day if you absolutely wanted to, which I may have done on occasion actually. So Booty products don't use any fertilizers, insecticides, or pesticides, so in the growing of the bamboos. It's good to know as well that you aren't putting anything yucky on your skin. And if you're looking at finding intimate products to wear as well, so like your undies and socks and bras, knowing that you're putting those products so close to your skin, knowing that they don't have any yucky things in them, is also really cool. And one thing I really like about Booty is that they commit to donating profits to 1% for the planet. So 1% of their profit goes back to this organization, and that is an initiative to see businesses and individuals make a conscious effort for the environment with their products and with their sales. Another one of my favorite brands, which I've been buying for quite a while now, is Dharma Bums. They have the most fabulous yoga pants and prints that I think I've ever seen. And when I might be having a bit of a day, or sometimes I'd even reserve these pants for they'd be my only teaching pants. I wouldn't wear them anywhere else because they were my special yoga pants. So I feel like that says something about how nice this brand is. They focus on creating really cool, beautiful yoga wear and make it all with a focus on bettering tomorrow. As I mentioned, they have some incredible prints on their pants. And again, if you have a look at my Instagram, or I'll pop the link to theirs in the show notes, you can see some of the really beautiful things that they have. And so they only use eco-friendly subliminal printing for their pants, which uses less water, electricity, and creates less waste. And all the dyes that they use are non-toxic and are cleaned up to 40 times to protect against any pollution. And obviously none of that's going off into any runoff into the waterways, and as well it's a product that is protecting their workers as well. And what I liked about Dharma Bums was that during the bushfires this year, they were even donating some of their excess fabric to help make pouches and bandages for any injured wildlife. So I just thought that was a really cool way to upcycle some old yoga pants material into something that was helping the Australian wildlife. And number 5 on the list is a brand called Team Timbuktu, another Melbourne-based brand run by a lady called Rihanna, who believes that we should never have to compromise between style and sustainability. And I really like that because that sums up, I feel like, this whole episode. Everything's made from organic cotton and, again, recycled or upcycled products. So their footprint compared to any mass-produced items is quite minimal. They're a brand that is quite minimal with their range. So they don't have pages and pages and pages and pages and pages of gear that you can buy. They've got a couple of sets of pants, a couple of crop tops, some tees, and then they also make raincoats, which is one of their specialties, actually. So if you're in the market for a new raincoat, I can highly suggest Team Timbuktu as well. So if you're a yogi that practices a minimalist lifestyle, I feel like Team Timbuktu is your go-to here. And if you are worried about the fact that some of these places do use upcycled plastics or recycled plastics in their product, places like Team Timbuktu and Indigo Luna have links on their website to show you how to manage to wash those products without getting more microplastics ending up in the ocean as well. So educational, fashionable, stylish, also eco-friendly, which sort of just ticks all the boxes really. And some other notable mentions that I just thought I might add in, as these are other brands that I know about, is Girlfriend Activewear. They're an overseas brand that, again, make products from upcycled plastic waste. Veggie Threads is a Melbourne-based brand. Make a lot of basics, a lot of clothes that are, yoga wear, active wear, but also just kind of feel nice and comfy in. And Nimble Activewear are probably one of the first bigger brands to really jump on creating recycled products. So they've been recycling products since 2015, so about 5 years. So they're another brand to look out for if you're doing your yoga shopping, and especially if you're in quarantine right now and doing a lot of online shopping. Now, I will put all the links to these places in the show notes so that you can go and maybe do some shopping or have a little look and support some of these businesses, because a lot of these are small businesses as well. So thought it's a good chance as well, while the world is going a little bit crazy, to look local and try and support some local businesses. But I hope that helps you maybe decide on where you might do your shopping now, or what you might look for when you are doing your shopping for your next yoga gear, because I am all about wanting to look pretty damn fine while I'm practicing. There's some days I do it in my pajamas, but other times it really makes me feel almost like I'm putting on a uniform, so to speak, and it helps me get out of bed and get ready for something to look forward to. And like I mentioned about some of my pants, like having them only reserved for when I was teaching made them feel like a really special product to me. If you have some suggestions on places that are doing really cool ethical clothing, I'd love to hear about it. You can visit my website, plantpoweredyoga.com, to find out more of how you can contact me. If not, stay safe out there, everyone. If you are in Melbourne, sending you my love. And we'll see you next week. Have an interview with Ulrike Reinhold from Bali, who's a yoga photographer. So looking forward to sharing that chat with you next week. All right, stay safe, everyone. Thanks again for listening to the Plant Powered Yoga podcast. For more information, visit plantpoweredyoga.com or visit the show notes below. I'd love it if you could rate, review, or even share this podcast with a friend. Thanks so much for helping create a kinder world, and see you next time.